to play a lot more in the tournaments and have tougher matches earlier on. Has the game been more tiring than previous years when you were when you had a higher seed?
Well, definitely more challenging. The first round, second rounds, but that's something that I don't try to look as a disadvantage. You know, looking from where I'm coming from almost not playing the year. Of course, the ranking will drop, so I have to slowly but steady been coming my way up, and I've been playing really good. I just lost a few times to a #1 player and top 10 players. So the level is there. It's just a matter of really going and getting the rankings up, and that's it. But I'm not too worried about that. The important is to keep improving my game and getting those wins, even if it's second round, third round against the top players. So that's the most important.
Vika, what's the it's super weird. What's the weirdest thing, like when you spend a significant training block, just training and practicing, and then stepping onto the match court? You were saying that it can be, you know, a little bit, it takes some time to get the rhythm, but is it physical, is it mental, is it tactical? What is the biggest difference between your practice court game and what happens in the match?
I think it depends on really how you feel. I think sometimes it can be more difficult mentally, just because you don't have that much confidence in yourself. And sometimes it can be physical if you had done some adjustments in your game or in your physical condition. So for me, probably the most challenging is to getting after a gym, you know, going and getting that, I would say, less clumsiness on the court. Sometimes I get a little clumsy, but rather than that, mentally I've been preparing myself in practice like I'm playing a match, so it was pretty easy transition mentally today. But physically, definitely, it's, you know, you can't reproduce the nerves and the emotions that you have during the match, so it's always going to be that that unknown part. So, but physically, I think it's for me been a little bit challenging just because of the work I've done off court.
Vika, when you've been healthy, you've been one of the players who's been able to challenge Serena the most consistently. What do you recall most about those two US Open finals to play against you?
I don't really think about it, to be honest, because I don't look back too much, and it's something that feels like it's been forever ago. So I feel like today, you know, in my game, myself personally grow so much that it's difficult to go back and think about those memories or those feelings that were on a court back then. But I'm looking forward to make another one.
Is there something that comes back to you just when you think about the occasion or playing her on that stage?
Excitement, really, because this is the most challenging probably place to play, the US Open finals against Elina. You know, so for me it's really exciting. That's something that gets me going every time.
When you're out there, your game, does it feel like it's getting back to that level where you were at in, I know you just said you don't look back, but when you're playing, does it feel like you're at that level when you were playing in 2012 and 2013?
Well, I think the difference between 2012 and 2015, first of all, I feel like I'm playing a lot better. I grew as a player. I have a lot more variety, a lot more power, a lot more consistency, and better game overall. So for me, I don't look at getting back there because that was something that I wanted to build from. And I think so far I've been doing a good job improving myself. And at one point it's all going to connect, and I feel it's getting so much better. And I'm just excited for the future.
Have you thought about your next match at all?
Not too much, really, but it's actually very exciting for me because we haven't played in such a long time. So when people ask me what do you expect, I don't really remember. So I'll have to just, I think it's going to be quite a new feeling.
Vika, after, as well as you played on the clay and then into the grass, when you kind of sat down with Sasha, with Wim afterwards and hit it into this training block, was it like, okay, let's just keep doing what we've been doing and, you know, making the gradual progression forward, or were there certain more drastic changes or anything that maybe you thought, no, let's definitely key in on this before we head into the hardcore stretch?
Well, there's no drastic thing to change because I feel at this level there's no, I'm not a junior, I'm not developing my game, I'm just improving details. For me, it's just going after it and working really hard and giving myself the best opportunity to take out of every day, you know, the best quality. I think at this level it's more about quality than quantity, and really trying to work on specific things. But when we sat down, I felt that my game was raising up, so I don't feel like there's much to change, but there's a lot to improve.
Vika, when you came back on tour, having been kind of injured for a while, was there a kind of sense of freshness and newness to the tour again, which maybe had gone away when you were playing year in, year out?
Freshness and what?
Just sort of freshness, newness, like you're kind of starting again, like you're young again almost, you know, just a teenager on tour.
Young again? Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just turned 26, and I can't believe that. Actually, it's everybody say, "Hey, you're still a baby," and to me, it feels like it's been forever. I've been playing on tour, but definitely a different approach mentally that I have since I came back, and I don't think it has anything to do really with tennis game or tennis surroundings. Is what I have done personally on off court for myself. So that really just gives me a kind of a new outlook, a new fresh start, and that will transform into a tennis court because that's what my life is about right now.
What are some of those things off the court?
Just getting, you know, myself on track, you know, taking responsibilities for your actions, learning from your mistakes, getting organized, which I hate, and now I'm really good at it. You know, having probably the best relationship with my parents that I ever had. So that was something that I worked really hard on, and it's amazing to me.
And what are some of the areas you're still kind of looking to get better, either on court or off court?
Oh, everything, because I'm like a perfectionist, and that's why I need to like sometimes give myself a little bit of a I don't know, pat on the back and say good job, you know, because I don't like to be too satisfied because then I get to myself too comfortable and then I'm not motivated. But I feel that I still have a lot of potential to improve as much on the court, as much off the court in the physical. And I feel like I improved a lot with you guys since from where I started. So that's definitely it. Good job.